Good morning, everyone. I hope this finds you well and living your best life in Jesus Christ. Living in Clendenin is sometimes an adventure, as many of you know full well. One of the biggest frustrations, especially as we move into the fall and winter, is the constant possibility of power outages. Although the electric company generally does a great job at getting the power back on in a reasonably timely fashion, nonetheless, it can be extremely frustrating to wake up to a cold house or lose several hours' work due to an ill timed interruption. This was all brought home to me recently when I heard Marcy Rucker describing what it's like to get her household up and ready for school and work in a power outage. Dale and Marcy have three fine young men. Two of them are teenagers, and they have to get them up and get them ready for school, as well as herself and Dale. Now, having grown up in a similar household, I can imagine the joy of finding yourself suddenly powerless and yet being expected to keep going and get everybody moving. Losing power can turn an inconvenience into a disaster in short order, as we all know. Yes, I'm sure we can all appreciate the difficulty of starting the day with no electricity, but how many of us in our rush to start our day begin the day without our spiritual power? How often do we rush through our morning preparations in a desperate hurry to try to get ready for the day and yet leave our homes spiritually powerless? I've been thinking of how often I rush into the day without my spiritual power. If I'm not careful, I spend more time reading the news or, God forbid, Facebook than the Bible. And if I'm not careful, talk radio or television replaces listening to the Holy Spirit. When we go into the world daily unprepared, is it any surprise that we react badly to others or find ourselves frustrated and nonplussed by every little thing that we have to deal with? In 2 Timothy 1:7, Paul reminds the young Timothy, "For the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." When we leave home empty of spiritual power, the truth is we react to difficult people and circumstances in a spirit of fear or anger or frustration, rather than the spirit of what Paul describes as power, love, and self-discipline that God has given us. Let's face it, without our spiritual morning prep, we must appear as spiritually unkempt as a person who dressed and groomed in the dark. What a sight must we look like to the Lord when we leave the house looking like that? And the thing is, what kind of witness do we present to those we encounter? See, our electricity will eventually be restored, but it's up to us to recharge our spiritual batteries every morning. Our physical power outage will be short-lived, but the lesson remains of our need to begin each day by seeking the Lord. He's there to give us the strength and power we desperately need in each day. His strength is not for my success or well-being, but so that I will glorify Christ by living in his power. So today I encourage you not to leave the house power-starved. I know it's difficult sometimes, but make time to read the scriptures, pause in prayer, and recharge before you go into the world. Power outages are seldom any fun in the physical world, and frankly, they can be devastating in the spiritual realm. So don't go into the world powerless and timid, but rather strong in the power, love, and self-discipline that can only be found in the Word and in communion with our loving and gracious Lord. I hope you make today a terrific day. I want you to know that I'm here if you need me, and I truly love you all.